Hello everybody and welcome to Jet TV. Today I am going to be jumping into my second Total War Warhammer 2 campaign. I've only said that wrong about 6 times in a row in previous takes here, so got it right this time. I am going to be jumping in as Lord Skrolk as the Skaven this time, so let's just have a look at his faction.
Lustria will fall to pestilence.
So, Lord Skrolk is a bit of an interesting one. He is a magic user, so that's going to be quite fun because the magic users are a lot more powerful in this one than they were in the original Warhammer, or certainly I feel they are. I'm certainly enjoying them and using them a lot more. Now, obviously the sort of standard effects, he gets certain cheaper buildings and a cheaper right for the pestilence scheme. Also gets cheaper units of certain units in his army, and he also spreads corruption. He is a corruption spreader. Now, Skaven corruption is an interesting one because it's both positive because it gives you some bonuses, but it's also negative because it does damage your Skaven and cause other negatives as well as it starts. Now, I'm going to start with some Plague Monk Censer Bearers, the Plague Core Catapult, and some Plague Monks, as well as Lord Skrolk himself, obviously, so they're quite powerful units. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get into it. We'll have the intro video first, and then we'll jump straight into the campaign.
Deep under the world, they chitter and plan, watching, waiting. When they emerge, it is a nightmare vision. The Skaven, a ravenous horde of verminous ratmen. They gnaw at the roots of the world like an infected wound. They mean to rule over ruins, for such is the will of their god, the great horned rat. Only the island home of the High Elves has remained unscathed. And at its center is the Great Vortex. A swirling maelstrom that siphons chaos from the world. The Skaven covet its vast power with envious, beady red eyes. The twin-tailed comet is oft seen as an omen, but this time its wake has disturbed the winds of magic. In the secret halls of the Under-Empire, the Council of 13 has gathered. A time to scheme of opportunity.
I kill dwarf things in Pillar City. No! Grandmores go to Southlands. Hunt for Warpstone. Moors are puppet minion. Pestilence infest Lustria. Yes. But all Warpstone for council plan. Come, scribe slave. Work to do. Comet makes elf things weak. Council wants power of the vortex. Just as prophecy demands. So it's true. You read markings on the black pillar. Then you know we must find the Screaming One. Find out how to control the vortex. Oh yes, master. But a large tribute of Warpstone will that demon require if we summon him. Return to your assigned clan. Harvest Warpstone. Yes, most precipitous of masters. And flay yourself, your impertinence. Oh, it will be done, your worship.
Yes, so we're playing a Skaven then. Sorry if I do sound a bit odd, I am actually getting a bit of a cold, which kind of fits playing as a clan pestilence. Anyway, we're just going through this loading screen, and I'll let the intro little blurb play, and then we'll get into it.
Cease your chittering, adherents of decay, for Skrolk speaks. By will of council, we set paw in Lustria to visit ruin upon the reptile things. Yes, yes. Twin-tailed comet brings great opportunity for pestilence. Great vortex of Althuan vulnerable. Much power to be had. Warpstone holds key. Much warpstone found in reptile thing cities. Kill Sotex creatures and steal their treasures. Skrolk will bind vortex to his will and spread sickness across the world. All will succumb to the plague monks.
Okay, so a quick how to play. See, we have underworld settlements, which means our settlements appear as ruins to everybody else. We have a food mechanic. So if we have more food, it's good. If we have less food, it's bad. I'm not quite sure how we get food in game yet, so that's something we learn. And Skaven corruption, which is both positive and negative. If it's high, we get more uses of menace below, but we also get lower public order. So that's something we're going to have to try and balance.
Things should not be here. Why have they resettled old festering ruins? What are they up to? Attack soon! Claim this place for clan pestilence!
So, I've got my first mission, which is to take one of these guys' cities. I know they've got one down here. This is probably another Skaven. I would imagine this is going to be another Skaven city. But we shall see. Oh, that's naughty, having a free tier 1 in there. Ideally, I try and always have buildings which only go up to level 3 in my smaller settlements, because I want to have more room, because obviously you get the things which go to higher levels which you can have in your bigger settlements, and I'd prefer to keep them there. And we do have a special thing in this province which generates food, corrupted spawning pool, and a garrison of plague monk censer bearers as well. So obviously we've got quite a nice army. We've got 3 units of plague monks, which are anti-infantry, and slingers, my plague core catapult, and my plague monk censer bearers, as well as Skrolk himself. Now let's just have a quick look at what Skrolk does. So Skrolk is a magic user, I believe. Or are they all bound abilities? Yes, no, he's definitely a magic user. So I'm going to have various abilities through this, including Vermintide. So that's just an augment. Wither, so that lowers their armor. Poison, that's nice. That's a buff to my guys. And a Plague Rash, which slows them all down. Now at the top end, I dare say I'm going to have some other things. So Plague, which is a vortex. Pestilent Birth. So spawns a unit of plague monks. Now what else do I have up here? I dare say I'm going to have a few more. Some of these are both positive and negative. So we'll have a look and see what goes on. And how this goes and what his abilities are like. You can also get some people with Warp Lightning here, which seems to be an incredibly powerful spell. To start with, I'm going to move up towards this coast. This edge of my region. I'm not going to push forward yet. I want to get a few more recruits first. I've got a reasonable income, so I'm going to get a couple of spears and a normal unit of clan rats before I do push on to here. Now, is there any building I do want to build? So slave wheels. This generates bonus income to all regions in this province, but it does also create Skaven corruption. I think everything creates Skaven corruption, so that's something we're going to have a work out how to deal with, so we don't completely mess ourselves up. I'm going to go straight for that, because that's income, growth, and food. Okay, and let's end turn. Okay, so they have an army down there, and obviously that wasn't a Skaven settlement, and they have just capped it. So I want to be paying attention to that, because it's not a big army, but it's not a small army. They don't know I'm here, because they can't actually see me here, so this isn't necessarily a bad thing yet. So I want to try and take this place quickly if I can, and then just try and get back to a Weaksill as quickly as I can. It's a nice easy auto resolve for me. Now I do have another settlement up higher. This is another interesting Skaven mechanic. You can actually use food to build up your settlements quickly. So I'm going to pop this straight to a level 2 settlement. I don't want to be going into the negatives of food yet, but having that settlement buffed up straight away is good, because for instance, to start building that there straight away, knock that one over, and I do now have the ability to get a second thing being built straight away. So I've got a rubbish pit, which increases untainted, so that helps remove some of the corruption in the region, though I've got a huge amount of corruption, so untainted -6, so that's +6. That's about balanced actually, so I'm not so worried about that at the moment. And here I actually do have a I can get a putrid rice bog, which is also going to be increasing food, so that's useful. I think some of these are unusual buildings, because I have actually got a Queek campaign going on my own, which I'm not streaming, and that I've been having food issues, so we'll see how that goes. Now, okay, so this is a breath spell, which I think means it's a wind spell, and that is poisons them for 10 seconds and gives them a load of negatives. So I'm it causes magical damage, can disrupt formation, so I'm going to grab that straight away. And yeah. And then we're going to start rushing back, because I've got this army here. Now, they do have another territory here, so I might be in a bit of a fight early on. And I've got the dwarfs in here, which, interestingly, I'm also happy to take their climate, so, but we'll see how this goes. I'm not going to plan where I'm going to advance yet, because if I do, as always, I will end up changing. I always get these grand plans to how I want to expand, as I did in my Lizardmen campaign, to anybody who's been watching that, and then I get dragged to other places repeatedly, because as with all games, things happen. Right, so let's level this guy up. And what do I want for my second building here? I've already got quite a bit of range, so I'm not so fussed by that, just by this one just yet, which would get me Night Runners, which are my ranged units. However, I could then get Gutter Runners and an Assassin early on. They're fun, Warp Fire Throwers. Obviously I've got this one as well, which I can get soon. Where do I actually get an engineer from? Because he, I believe, a Warlock Engineer can learn Plague Lightning, Warp Lightning, which is a fun ability and does a lot of damage. So we'll have a play with a few. Now, what other buildings can I get here? So this is effectively my defensive walls. These are my economy buildings, so I've got another untainted one to reduce how tainted the region is here, another rubbish pit. Also, you've got the slave wheels, which increase all income within the region, increase regen, and straight increase public order and money. I do want to start pushing my economy straight away. This is probably actually a good one, because it's a tradable resource and it's giving me about as much money. Because if I look at these other ones, they don't actually really seem to go up in the amount of money they give you. So However, this seems to be the best way of buffing up the money, so I probably do want one of these, but not necessarily right away. I'm half tempted to hold it for now. I can always swap it later on. I'm going to go for the resource. You always want those resources because you can trade them. Now I do have a little bit of a public order issue, but that'll hopefully get sorted as I expand a bit.
You're in Liber Bubonicus.
Now, because I double timed it here, I can't actually recruit this turn. I've got a second army moving up there, so I want to be careful because I know just how tough Lizardmen can be. Now these guys won't have as many Sauruses.
Dwellers who have heard tales of the Skaven under Empire.
Okay, this is just telling me a bit about the Underworld and the Under Empire, because we do have the Underway stance as well, which is quite nice, so I can jump around the map and get behind people. For those who don't know, the Underway, it's a network of tunnels and things which dwarves and orcs can also use. So you can get under mountains and things, or move behind armies. However, there's always a chance they will intercept you if they're nearby. Also, in your normal stance, you always have a chance of ambushing any enemy army you attack. You have a chance of ambushing, which is really quite nice. So I'm going to get myself another 3 units of clan rats out into this army. And then we're going to keep pushing. I've got a nice income of food. My corruption is... It is still +3, so I might want to look at trying to reduce that a little bit at some point. However, for the moment, I think I can cope with that. And here's an army coming out. They're going to try and double tap me with both of their armies here. Let's see what happens here. So this is a
reinforcements may occasion.
Okay, this is a reasonable thing. I can also spend some food to give myself more uses of menace from below, which I think I might actually do. So I've now got 4 uses of menace below, which allows me to bonus a unit of clan rats in the battle. Now I'm going to do a quick cheeky save here because this is by no means an easy but an equal. Well, it is an easy battle. Well, it should be. I've said it now. It better be easy. I'm against mostly skinks. They've got 1 unit of Saurus. So the Sauruses and their Saurus Old Bloods who are leading their armies are probably going to be the most dangerous things here. Skinks don't have great leadership, so I should be able to break them. Now, I know this is... I don't know if this is good, actually, because Skaven aren't really defensive. I don't like playing as defensive as Skaven. However, I'll try it this time, and I do have my Plague Claw catapults to have them charge against, and I've got my... I forgot what they're called, my melee infantry, who are also... Basically, I've got a very plague-oriented army, so I'll be doing a lot of damage to them that way, which also really helps lower their leadership. And that Plague Claw catapult, the Skaven artillery, is devastating. I mean, having it used against you when it hits, it does a lot of damage, which is always very nice. I mean, the artillery again in this game feels a bit more powerful to me, and I use it a bit more than I did in Warhammer 1. That could just be that my playstyle has evolved, but certainly the Skaven artillery feels good. I'm going to gamble, hope I get a little bit more magic than that. Oh, that wasn't worth it. Right, so my Plague Monks, they don't have huge armour, so I'm going to keep these guys back to throw in if I need to. I'll put my clan rats across here.
Clan rat spears. Sets of errors. Plague Claw catapult. Yes, count us command.
I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to put one of these guys in with this. This is going to be a nice mixed group.
Ready? Ready?
Yeah, and I'm going to have most of these here where I think I'm going to put the biggest attack, and I will go on the offensive very early on here. Right, so it's a nice simple setup. It doesn't need to be any better, anything more.
Lord Skrolk.
Bless with Filth. So that is another spell I've got, which is another poison attack. Target self, ground, or ally. Also, it imbues me with these things, which I think means it buffs them up so they do all of this.
I can't kill that dwarf naked Uber's reaction.
So it gives them poison damage, but it also debuffs me. It's an interesting idea. Oops, I think I just cast it. Okay, my sound seems to have just gone, guys. I'm not quite sure why. Oh no, it is still there. Sorry. I paused the game somehow there, guys. I'm a little bit confused. Right, so let's watch these come in. I'm going to get a hit. Oh! So my plague core catapults are firing away. I'm getting some nice hits on these guys there, which is doing quite a nice chunk of damage. Well, that effect, you see, this that's nice. Good hits on them as I do them. So here they come in quite quickly, so I'm not going to wait for them. I am going to do a bit of a charge. These guys can start moving up as well. Not quite there yet. Let's move some of my units forward to keep them in range. My sensor bearers are shooting at these guys, and look at that damage they are doing to their morale, which is one of the great things about certain units like this. They do a lot of damage to morale, which really breaks them. And let's throw a breath spell out as well.
Spells of blade.
Oh! And now they are... No, we're not attacking yet. I'm just going to keep peppering them for now.
Slingers, now move. Guide us, Lord One.
I think they are about to charge. Right, let's charge. Pop a menace of below behind them as well. And let's pull these guys up quickly. Now I'm got to remember my Skaven are not really solid attackers, so we want to be careful here. Making these guys give out poison as well. They're all breaking already, which is good. I want to keep that pressure on. Why am I being careful? I'm Skaven. I don't care if I hit my own people. trap these guys with a menace from below. Now this is my biggest issue here, is these guys, is their leaders, their Sauruses, really don't like going down. And you see this use of unit Sauruses here are enraged. So they're just going to keep fighting no matter what I do. Yeah, I'll sod it. It's straight through my units. I'm Skaven, I don't care. Ooh, my sense bearers are out of ammo. Let's actually pull them back now. Some of my clan rats are breaking. Let's pop another. And how it is beginning to change, because these guys are pushing back while my guys are all running away. So I say that, they do have a reasonable melee attack, so I'm going to dig these guys in as well. I don't really want to lose them, but I need to take out that Lord. So I've got a skink cohort on me here. They're not really huge worry for me. I'm losing some of my plague monks here, which I don't really want to do at this point, but as Skaven, you are going to lose things. It's just the way of the world. He is beginning to break. The Saurus Old Bloods are beginning to break, so we've got this. And that is a victory, though it was a little close there. As I'm not so good with these sort of tactics with Skaven, where they run away, come back, run away, come back, run away, come back. Anyway, so that's our first winners for Skaven. Yes, yes. And we're going to push on to that other settlement now and capture that one as well, to strengthen our position and start building up our armies. Now, I really want to push. I don't want to give these guys a chance to build up at all early on, because having played Lizardmen, I know what they can do to Skaven armies if they build up. However, fortunately, unlike Krokkar, these guys will struggle to maintain a full army of Saurus warriors early on, because Krokkar, one of the Lizardmen leaders, he gets his Saurus warriors upkeep is a lot cheaper, so it actually means you can have a full Saurus army from pretty much day one, which makes him incredibly powerful early game. So that went reasonably well. So my plague monks did take quite a lot of damage. So my plague monks did got a lot of kills though. So that was I'm happy with that victory. You know, I didn't lose many, and actually Skaven are designed to be able to take losses. Certainly, you know, you'll watch me at points in this later on. I'll probably just throw armies together of Skaven slaves to basically to use as chaff, who I will throw at enemies to lock them up while my more important units get around them and try and hit them from the sides and back and break them up, or literally to hold them while I cast powerful spells on them, because I really don't care if I've got a unit of Skaven slaves. It's cheap, it's got no maintenance. At that point you really don't care if you completely destroy the unit. And even if they do end up low, you'll see even with these guys, the Skaven's regeneration is very, very fast, which means that you can get your armies back to full strength very quickly after a battle as well. So while other people might need a few turns to lick their wounds and get up to full strength, you really can push that out and get yourself up to full strength pretty much straight away again. Okay, so do we want to eat them to replenish our units, enslave them, which gives me a bonus food for 5 turns, or sell them? I'm going to take the eat captive this time, simply because I want to push straight back to this settlement, and I'm probably going to be able to double tap these armies next turn to enslave them then.
burns energy. Blessed, or perhaps cursed.
So this is he's just telling me about the food mechanic he's getting, which I'm doing reasonably well on. Let's upgrade my buildings.
And you may bring them to back.
Okay, that's him telling me about the stalking stance, which I did mention before, which effectively means that when I attack, I can do so as, I've always got a chance of sorry, I can't talk today. I've always got a chance of having an ambush. Or did I not take Root Marcher as my first ability? That is very bad of me, actually. Right, that's a nice easy auto. This time I'm going to enslave them, which ups my food production. And Skrolk has leveled up again. So let's have a look. We've got Blessed with Filth, which we've had again, which imbues them with poison but gives them negatives. Wither, which is a hex to reduce armour. That could be very useful against Sauruses, actually. Vermintide. So spawns a unit of clan rats. Which again is nice. It means I can use magic to do it. And Plague Rash, which takes away their vigour and speed. It's an augment, which is a constant effect around. Its effective range is map wide. Wow. Well, what did I have up here? Increase my... Okay, that's an interesting one. Increase my mischance. Base mischance, but increase my winds of magic reserve. I think I'm going to take that hex because Plague Rash is, it's just a bonus map wide. Right, now let's push onto this settlement to get the entire region, and that's another nice easy auto resolve for me. Now, now I can probably afford to take the hit, so I'm at plus 20 food now. So while I'll be down one turn, I'll be back up very, very quickly. So I'm going to take that risk. Oh.
Facilities in this city are damaged, my lord. Repair them to gain the full bit.
Okay, that might not have been the best idea, because I've now gone to minus 20. Oh, that's my change this turn due to colonisation. Oh, I scared myself then.
Where shadow of horned rat?
So once again, I've buffed myself up quite quickly. I've got a few other things I can get, so this will unlock straight away some more Poison Wind Globadiers. So it's another ranged unit which does quite a lot of damage. So I'm going to grab that one here. This one I will grab in my main city simply because it only goes up to level 3. Now, do I want to start building some walls? Probably not here. What's on... That's quite a large region there. So I probably do want to go down at some point, but not necessarily right now, because there's probably another Skaven clan here. Though I can take this. I can take this just to consolidate, so I don't really want to build walls here, so what's going to be my best thing to do? Let's have a look. I'm going to grab a plague bell because I am actually having as you can see, I'm having happiness issues here, and we're going to do the public order one as well. So I'm probably going to get a rebellion here at some point soon, and I have leveled up again. Now, one thing I do want to take early is I do want to start taking some of the red ones to basically buff up and help keep my army, my leadership up, because Skaven do have leadership issues. However, for now, I'm going to grab a Wither, because that is also a nice buff. Hang on, buff. What will the second one of this do? It will reduce the cost as well, and it gives me the overcast version, so I can actually already overcast it, but it also lowers the miscast chance. For now I'm going to go for Wither because I just want to start pushing up. I can always come back to that later on. And with that, guys, that's my first region captured as Clan Pestilence. So we're going to end this first session here, and we will jump in tomorrow when I have to decide. I'm probably going to finish these guys off and start pushing up north to finish off this clan. Also, just before we go, I'm going to try and get a quick non-aggression pact. Oh, those horrible other Skaven. I'm going to try and make friends with them, otherwise they're going to have to be squished. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please feel free to give feedback. I am very new at this, so any feedback is appreciated. Thank you very much for your time.